What's the story, YouTube? Paul here. I'm about to go for a little walk in a BMX track here in the Tanjong Tokong region of Penang. So I just moved to Penang here recently. So this little walkway we're going to now is used for BMXers. Apparently, I've never been up here. The day has kind of been raining quite frequently, so I don't know what really to expect up here. We have had high wind warnings and a couple of lightning storms, so we're in monsoon season. And there was damage to some trees and houses in the last couple of days. In addition to that, I've been warned about snakes. And being as I just moved here from Australia, or from Ireland, well, from the UK, but I am from Ireland, tended to grow up in a place without snakes and spiders and poisonous creatures. So I want to try to take a butterfly. Can you see the butterfly? Yes. I will try to take that under advisement. It's proper jungle up here, which is pretty cool. Maybe a little bit out of breath as well, because I have been walking up a hill to get here. The sound here is unreal. Oh, you got frogs. We definitely have some water obstacles here we may have to deal with. The sound of the jungle, man. Doesn't get old. Okay. This looks like the best version, best path forward. So while we're doing this as well, I'm going to talk about the 3 best reasons, in my opinion, to move to Penang or Malaysia in general. Seeing that I was living in London for the last 3 years, the number 1 reason would obviously be currency. So everything is a hell of a lot cheaper here, and your money goes a long way. Pretty cool. It is getting dark soon here too, so I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to actually traverse. I should come out relatively soon. Water spring here. There's water popping out of nowhere. Probably going to get bitten by mosquitoes and shit too, which is great fun. But, so yeah, money in Malaysia goes a long way. To give some context to that, so I was basically living in half a house in London. So a house divided into 2. Give us a garden in London City, which is relatively rare. And for that, we were paying £2,200 sterling for the privilege of access to London. Now, London was a city we needed to be in for various reasons for a period of time. But now that we no longer need to be there, come to Malaysia. Fucking hell. And here in Malaysia, I've got 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, a condo on the 31st floor with sea views, access to every amenity imaginable, from a pool to a gym to a private movie theater to barbecue area, I'm definitely getting bitten by mosquitoes. They're swarming me. After the rain was probably the worst time to come up here. But I figured now is a great time to start a YouTube channel to document all this. I do not think I will be going up this way. I would say, so this is for BMXers, remember? Not just for casual strolling vloggers. And this ground is slippy. So I don't know how far we're going to get. I've never seen mosquitoes actually land on me, or not frequently. They generally just bite you and you notice a while later. But so far I've had 5 or 6 of them land on me. So this rain is definitely an issue. This hill is steep. But yeah, more about the money side of things, right? So more context for you. For breakfast in the morning, I can go out and get 2 roti chaloors, which is like fried bread and egg with onion and cheese, and a glass of freshly squeezed apple juice. And that'll cost me about £1 sterling. So that's nice to be able to eat fairly cheaply. This jungle is unreal. I don't know what buildings these are, but I assume they're residential. I think that was the Tri-Pinnacle. This big one here on the left. Saw a sign coming up. This hill's killing me. Sweat pouring off me and mosquitoes destroying me. But I think we're going to do it. It does seem traversable. Yeah, so money again, right? Compared to the UK, basically your disposable income, if you can have some foreign source of income, goes a long way here. And I think that's going to be a little bit about what my channel is going to be about too. So obviously I'm looking at building some foreign income sources. I do have a few already, but building more. Ooh, this looks dark and ominous. Should we go up the dark and ominous route? It is actually getting dark and nobody knows I'm up here. What do you think? I think we'll do it. Maybe a BMXer will save me. So yeah, money goes a long way here. Basically, if you have £1,000 sterling, €1,000 a month, I'll cover living in a nice apartment, all the food, and I'm talking eating out food, not just groceries. So you can eat out 4 to 5 times a week, plus your groceries and any other costs you might have for £1,000 a month. And from my experience, as someone who's been working remotely for probably 12 years or so, doing that, fuck me, there are things running along the ground here which you cannot see that look bigger than my head. Not quite, but look like some form of spiders, which is great. Fuck this jungle. Okay, I'm wandering off into the jungle in the dark. Probably not the best idea. It seems to be going backwards deeper into the jungle too. If it does, I think I'll call it quits, because the path that I mapped out on Google Maps is going in the other direction, and I'm getting eaten alive here. Like really eaten alive. Yeah, fuck this. Okay, I'm going back. I have no idea where that goes. Be fun to do if it wasn't getting dark, and I do need to get out of the jungle. So maybe another day, a video for another day. So yeah, back to money. Money goes a long way. And I think I will be focusing on documenting building up foreign income sources while in Malaysia. Because when I do that, and I have done this in the past, outside of standard investing, like actual income sources, it would basically, become early retirement for me, because that money goes a long way here versus London. Like London, you'd want 2,000 to 3,000 sterling a month to live meagerly. Which brings me on to my second point, being the quality of life here. So because money goes such a long way here, quality of life becomes easily accessible once you have, like I said, some foreign source of income. This even looks a little bit scary. Go and have a look. Obviously these are all built for BMXers, but it does not look like they've been traveled for a while. Like, if there's ever about to be a snake, this is going to be where it's going to happen. You can tell. So quality of life here. The condos, which are everywhere, are really, really cheap. And you're talking like 350 a month for really, really high quality, like 1,500 square feet, 3 beds, 3 baths. Like I said, with all the amenities. Now, the amenities do vary in condos, depending on whether you are in a new condo or an older condo. The older one, I suppose that's personal preference. The older ones tend to be more regal, and the newer ones obviously tend to be more modern with better facilities. This does not look like I'm going to be able to get through here. Like, so in Ireland we have nettles a lot, and I am wearing shorts, as you can tell. I have no idea what plants will sting me, what plants will hurt, and this looks like a whole lot of plants that I need to get through. Can't really see it in the camera, but it's pretty much covering the path down there. And shit, there's definitely shit in this fucking jungle. Okay, so we're going to turn back from this route as well and go the route that I know. Have not been down the route before, but it looked like it was wide open and walkable for someone who's going for an afternoon stroll, especially in the dark. If I don't get down one of these paths, this video will be a failure. So anyway, quality of life. There is, like, obviously a big divide in wealth here, which obviously isn't the best, but it's very different from what we would be used to and accustomed to in the West. For example, there isn't a lot of homelessness. There are people who we would consider below sorry, just walking down some dodgy hill here, that we would consider below the poor standard, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're poor here. I've seen very little homelessness. We're talking, I could probably count them on my hand. I've been here for 3 weeks. So I could probably count that on one hand, the amount of homeless people I've seen. But those below the poverty belt, they still have houses, they still have motorbikes, they still have jobs. They just don't have the newest, most up-to-date stuff. So they've got old motorbikes, old cars. Um, I don't know, would you call them shanty towns? Like, they're definitely not really shanty towns. We have seen some kind of, maybe it's a style of living where there's jungle areas, and within the city, mind you, and these little jungle areas are cordoned off basically, and the jungle is let grow, and there's people living in basically housing made out of tin. Um, so we have seen that, but the normal average person that is below the poverty belt here has a decent house, what we would consider a decent house. In uh, Western countries, gee, there's fucking huge things moving along the ground here. Let's switch. So yeah, so poverty doesn't seem to be a big problem here, and the poverty that you do see, it's just on a different level and a different scale. Drugs aren't a problem here because the country is so strict on drugs. So without drugs, you don't have addicts. Without addicts, you don't have the shit that we're used to in Western countries. Oh my God, here come the mosquitoes. There's like certain areas that you walk through are just swarming with mosquitoes, and they just drop on you like dive bombers. So I'm going to be eaten alive tomorrow. I wanted to explore that area over there a bit, but we'll just go this way. And I just saw a bat past me. So we do have to get out of here before it gets dark, and there's another bat. I don't know if you're catching them on the camera. Might be birds, but it looks like bats. So yeah, the quality of life, there is a big divide here, like I said, but those below the poverty line in this country tend to be a lot higher, how would you say, grade of human being. You don't get junkies, you don't get people, stabbing people over fucking fentanyl and shit like you do in the US, or you don't get as much gangs because there's no drugs. So basically the crime rate is rock bottom here. I mean, it's like such a safe place to live. And that's on the kind of lower end of things, right? So on the higher end of things then, again, because like I said, so trees falling here from the storm last night. And there were lots of reports of that around Penang. So anyway, so even like not like rich, so like average, what we would consider average in Western countries, medium income, those people have access to a lot. Like I said, the condos, the swimming pools, the gyms, eating out 5 nights a week. All of that is easily accessible. There's no way I'm going to get down this. This is entirely made for fucking BMXers. One, it's waterlogged. There's all of this fucking plastic on it, which keeps the water on the surface, meaning I can't fucking get through it. So this video may be a failure. Let's see how far I can go. But this is so fucking slippy. And there's no way anybody's coming up here tonight. So if I fall and break my leg, well, I do have my phone, so I suppose that's one thing. If I knock myself out, I will not be found. Okay. So anyway, yeah, and so then from a Westerner perspective, right, even saving up a little amount of money, like say 10 grand and moving here, just to give you a transition period, you instantly have access to a higher quality of life. So forget about the 10 grand part. Regardless of whatever station in life you are, in Ireland or UK or US, or even countries like Australia and stuff like that, Canada, whatever standard of living you're used to, you get an immediate upgrade by moving here based on the currency. And that upgrade is like you don't have to, it's widely accessible, right? It's not the 1% here. It's like the fucking 20%. Yeah, there's no way I'm going down that. It's hard to display how steep that is, but I do not think that is walkable. It's built for BMXs. There's some weird shit over here, so I'll have a look at this direction. But it looks like this video is going to be a failure. I'm going to have to go back. So no matter where you are in your life, whatever standard of living you're accustomed to, you get an immediate upgrade by moving here. So that's point two for anybody considering moving here from the UK, Ireland, US, Canada, Australia, wherever. Point three is the environment. And the environment is kind of a mix of things. So Penang, where I decided to move to, is tropical island. You literally have between 25 degrees and 35 degrees or more all year round. That's degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So it never gets cold here. There is no winter. There's basically monsoon season and not monsoon season. We're in monsoon season now, which is why we have the heavy rains. But as you can tell, I'm still in t-shirts and shorts. I cannot zoom for shit. But I am in t-shirts and shorts, despite being in the middle of what they consider winter, which is interesting. And that is because we're living on a tropical island. And that in and of itself, by the way, is part of the environmental factors as well, because you have sea all around you, amazing sea views from almost anywhere on the island, amazing beaches. The water isn't great, unfortunately. It's at least at certain times of the year. I haven't quite figured it out yet, due to jellyfish infestations. So you can't swim in the sea, but there are islands nearby, and those islands have, basically what you imagine to be paradise. Your saline waters, you can see right to the bottom, scuba diving, all of that kind of stuff. And it doesn't cost a lot to get out to them. So, yeah. So I lost a bit of little trip there. I tried to go up one of the other routes and couldn't, so I ended up coming back again. But I forgot to hit record on my fucking camera. So I'm now heading back. I've given up. We have failed our mission to get to the other side of this BMX track, and it is getting dark. So I am heading back before I die. And the ground is fucked, and it's getting harder to see. But anyway, I don't know where we left off. We were talking about tropical islands. You have amazing jungle, amazing sea, amazing views from everywhere on the island, and amazing fresh food from the sea, which is nice. Amazing beaches, and yeah, generally just island life, and that's a huge part of the environment. The other major part of the environment is the people. Right, crouching down to get under that broken tree. So the people in Malaysia, you have a fairly equal split of Malay, Chinese, and Indian. And in different cities, it tends to have different percentages, but generally it's like 33%, 33%, 33%, or maybe 30%, 30%, 30%, and 10% other. But because of that, and because it's primarily Muslim, and because there's the buildings look cool at night, don't they? The camera's a bit fucked. from the rain. But because of that, people are very respectful of each other, and it's something that me, even as an Irish person who likes to take the piss out of people for fun, that's generally just how Irish people work. I'm sure anyone who's Irish out there will not disagree. It's something I had to get used to. Not that I had to get used to, but it was definitely something worth noting. But it is a benefit. The noise, these cicadas or whatever they're called, probably can only pick up a little bit of it on the camera, but it's very loud. So yeah, because everyone's so respectful, because there's so many different cultures, so many diverse, or such an equal percentage of diversity, everyone's very respectful, and because everyone's respectful, the place tends to just be more pleasant. Like you go out in London on a Saturday night, 1 a.m. after the pubs close, between the pubs and the clubs after the clubs close, it's just fucking chaos. Absolute chaos. Fucking gangs, fighting, stabbing, drunk people falling all over the place, vomiting everywhere. And it's the same every city in the UK, every city in Ireland. And that's just kind of a way to live, really, in my opinion. But because you don't have any sunshine there, there's nothing else to do there, that's kind of the way we all grew up. But yeah, you don't have that here. Nice shot of the water spring. It must be pretty cool going through that in a bike. I don't know how deep it is, or if the spring is always here. I'm gonna have to try to find a way around this without getting destroyed too. Which will be interesting. So yeah, the respect between everybody here, and obviously you're going to have a small percentage of people who are just assholes. That's in every culture, in every city, in every race, in everything in the world. But there's such a small percentage here that it's really rare. And even when you do come across it, because everybody else is so nice, I'm literally walking in fucking a river now. It doesn't tend to turn into like fisticuffs and shit like that. I haven't seen a fight yet. A little bit of Karen behavior, but that's about it. Okay, I'm just gonna walk through this fucking river. Sorry. Yeah. Right, we're out. So I stay here for a minute and finish off the point. While looking at the jungle in the dark. You're having a good time because it is, it looks okay on camera. That's the light from the building, but it looks really dark up there. And you would not be able to see snakes. You would not be able to see spiders. Not a fucking chance. That's me looking without the light on it. Yeah, not somewhere you want to get caught at in the dark. But yeah, so the environment, friendliness of the people, the jungle life, the sea life, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So those are my three reasons: the money arbitrage, the standard of living, and the ease of access to standard of living because of the money arbitrage, and the environment. So all year round, above 25 degrees, island living, and the people here. Oh yeah, so the other part is the food. The food, because again, such diverse cultures and such a long tradition of that as well. Everything's kind of become an amalgamation of the three different cultures in terms of food. And you can still get all your, like, you got McDonald's here. Obviously, they change it up a bit to address the spicier palate, so to speak. And there's things like nasi lemak and stuff like that, which is basically fried chicken with anchovies and some stuff like that in McDonald's. But you still get your Western food here, your burgers, your chips, your pizza, all that shit food that we eat. But then that contributes to the fucking shit standard of living outside of here as well, you know? So I found myself eating more healthy while I'm here. One, because healthier food is now extremely cheap, but then two, because there's such a wide variety of it. Um, and lots of stuff I've never tried before that I now find that I love, which is interesting. Like a Chinese in central London is not the same as a Chinese here. Again, the Chinese in central London has adapted to the deep fried culture of London rather than actual Chinese food. Sounds like a duck. So yeah, that's my little BMX tour. That was definitely not a rat. See him? Can you see him? So rats are a thing. Then I missed them. And rats are definitely a thing up here. You don't get them in the city. I haven't seen them in the city. They're obviously free reign in the jungle, and there's nobody up here. Here he is. There's a mouse. Where'd you go? Went that way, buddy. And I am going to get out of here because I get bitten. But he does look nice and friendly. I'm sure famous last words maybe applied there. But yeah, I'll leave it at that, guys. It's the end of the vlog. I will be talking more about business related stuff and building up my actual foreign income sources while I'm here. So if you're interested in learning more about that and various different adventures around Penang, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Talk to you later.